Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? What we're going to be talking about today are 5 food storage lessons that we learned from World War II that are still implemented today. So I want you to just sit and imagine what it would be like to feed your family, even if it's just you and your spouse, you and your children, family of 4, family of 8, okay? During the war rationing of the early 1940s, okay? In 1939, America had not entered World War II. So there did not seem to be an immediate need for food storage or emergency preparedness as we think about them today. This was also well before rationing started. The United Kingdom did not ration food until January 1940, and the United States did not follow suit until 1942. So the suggestion to store food may have seemed strange in 1939, but by the time the United States became fully embroiled in the war, it proved to be extremely good advice. And in the spirit of both learning from history, passing down knowledge onto others, there are 5 things that we can learn from wartime food storage. So the first lesson is you can never have too much. Look at your pantries, whether it's your freezer pantry, your prepper pantry, your working prepper pantry, your spice pantry, HBA pantry, whatever pantry. Just look at all your pantries, okay? And just remember that you can never have too many of the right foods, okay? The lesson is to stock up on foods that will last a very long time and can be used in a variety of ways. It's also why cooking from scratch, getting back to basics in the kitchen, is a critical skill that you should learn. Now, lesson number 2 is to build up your food storage supply now and not after the rationing starts. When the war started and rationing started because of the uses of metal for weapons and canned foods for soldier rations, ladies actually had to go to the school in their area and declare what food they had. And ladies were in line telling the officials they had 2 cans of soup, a can of tuna fish. And when other ladies heard what you actually had in your home and they thought it was too much, they would gasp. Yeah. So lesson 3, sometimes it is better not to advertise exactly how much you have in your house, because during this period, the concept of fairness was very much in the public consciousness. Perhaps some didn't think it was fair that one family had so much food in their house, even though they had the same ration cards as everyone else. With a surplus on hand, they were able to help others. But if their food had been confiscated or it had been stolen, they would have had nothing for their own survival, nor that of anyone else. So the next lesson is money you do not have to spend on food can go toward other necessities. Wartime food storage wasn't just about food, mind you. It was also about how it could free up funds for things that you needed but could not grow, make, or barter for. Think about what other kinds of needs you might have that money could be used for, like medicine, home remedies, if the home remedies weren't working and you needed actual prescriptions, okay? So the last lesson is lesson 5. The best way to learn the ins and outs of stored food is to store it and to use it. It was found that there were things that they just didn't do right back then, right? Weevils got into flour. You know what weevils are, right? Weevils got into flour, and they should have had it in metal cans per se, airtight containers, even though airtight containers were not available back then, but tin cans, okay? Or stacked it on a sack of sugar on the floor, then a sack of flour on top of that, and then alternate sugar, flour to keep the weevils from migrating to all the sacks. And then when they went to use some of the flour, they had to put the flour in a sifter, and instead of turning the wheel, they hit the side of the sifter so that the flour would go through the screen and the weevils would stay in the screen. And they ended up dumping so many cans of flour into the garden. Wheat in cans stores so much longer, right? So there's just so many things that we can learn from back then that we can still implement today, that I think that are so important, especially getting back to basics. Okay. All right, guys, I hope this video was helpful for all of you. Okay. I'll see you in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping, and as always, fearless. Ciao.